Shelly Fraser-Pryce is the reigning world champion in the 100-meter dash, and entering the 2023 event, she is ranked inside the top 5 women in the world. Although she is a ways off from the world leader right now, in 2022, she wasn't the favorite to win that event either, so there's no reason to bet against her now. She was actually the Olympic champion way back in 2008, the first time that Usain Bolt first pulled it off. But there is a reason why Shelly Fraser-Pryce is not considered to be the greatest women's sprinter the world has ever seen. And it's probably because she is just one great sprinter in a generation with a whole lot of them. If you're keeping score at home, 4 of the top 10 fastest women to ever run the 100 in history will be facing off in the 2023 World Championships. So it is safe to say this might be the greatest women's sprint field ever assembled. But the truth is that no woman in the game right now has a serious shot at claiming the throne as the greatest of all time. And the real reason for that is because all of them might as well be chasing after a ghost. From 1988 till now, Florence Griffith Joyner is still the world record holder in the 100 and the 200. She was larger than life before social media was even there to capture it, and her success had made it hard for us to truly appreciate the greatness of just about anyone else. And this is why. Before I go any further, I have to address the elephant in the room. Florence Griffith Joyner, or Flo Jo as they like to call her, was Usain Bolt long before Usain Bolt ever existed, and there's no denying that. It doesn't require much explanation. She's the world record holder in the 100 and the 200, and those records have stood for 30 years and counting. They're literally older than every single 90s baby, including me. However, the 100 record specifically is speculated to be wind assisted, but we leave it alone as is. But beyond that, what is ironic is Flo Jo only dominated at 1 Olympic Games in 1988. That is it. In the same year she broke both world records, is the only time she won gold at any international championships. And that brings us to the real controversy, because I obviously wasn't around back then, but I hear a lot went down in the 80s in the sport of track and field. I'm not gonna say the word, but you know what I'm talking about. And in women's sprinting, the 100, 200, and 400 world records have all been standing for more than 30 years by now. And that is a big deal, because all of those records have fallen on the men's side. They've actually been shattered, sometimes more than once. And I am not here to pass judgment on Flo Jo's career, and she's not here to defend herself. But even giving the benefit of the doubt, her track career could be described as one amazing lightning strike. Because without that 1988 Olympic season, specifically the record she broke, she would just be another great sprinter in history who we don't talk about. You can make your own mind up about how you feel about it, but this has become a problem for women sprinting to overcome, because track and field fans tend to get blinded by fast times. Yet most people don't even remember she only won medals at 1 Olympic Games. Shelly Fraser-Pryce has done that at 4 straight Olympic Games, and she's dominated the world championships along the way, because she has 6 individual gold medals. We're not recognizing the other ones, because she does. She's technically not even the fastest Jamaican of this generation. That would be Elaine Thompson-Herah. She ran 10:54 in 2021, the only woman to get within 1/10 of a second of Flo Jo's miracle run. Sha'carri Richardson is 7th all time, and the fastest American right now, but she's not even within 2/10 of a second of the 1988 world record. To put this in perspective, that would be like celebrating Brandon Carnes for being 2/10 of a second off of Carl Lewis's world record in 1991. Cause remember, we're about 30 years down the road from that moment, and Brandon Carnes is an unattached athlete who has never represented Team USA, at least not yet. Allow me to make myself very clear. The ghost of Flo Jo has made it virtually impossible for track fans to truly appreciate what the women in the game are doing right now. And as long as those records stay on the books, it will likely continue to be like that. Cause otherwise, Shericka Jackson would be the world record holder in the 200-meter dash right now. And we would all be riding high from watching her do it in 2022. And keep in mind, she's still not the only one. There has never been an era with this many great women sprinters. They just haven't beaten the ghost yet. And that's why we don't realize. As great as Allyson Felix was, you probably aren't aware that she's not even the fastest American in any of the events that she ran. She did win a whole lot of medals, but right now, Gabby Thomas is faster in the 200 than she ever was at the event. Sydney McLaughlin-Levrone and Britton Wilson are faster than she's ever run in the 400. One just started running the event professionally in the last 6 months, and the other just finished her collegiate season. Allyson perhaps gets a pass, because she's basically the LeBron James of women's sprinting. She ran faster for a longer period of time than anybody has ever done, and she kept figuring out how to win medals while she did it. But she's the exception that proves the rule, and we have to call it like it is. The ladies we are witnessing in this era are the best the world has ever seen. They likely won't run past the ghost, and I have no idea how it will break the internet if one of them ever does. I also understand the philosophy that if you're not first, you're last. And that also holds true for breaking world records. But my vote is that we make an exception, because most of us weren't around in the 80s. And chasing the ghost has made it really hard for us to recognize the women of this generation for what they actually are. We are witnessing right now the greatest collection of women sprinters that the world has ever seen, and perhaps the best ones that any of us ever will. I'm Coach Rob, and thank you so much for watching this video. And if you want to see more content like this, then please like and subscribe.